and welcome to Cricbuzz live for one last time this World Cup. I'm Saiyami Kher and I have to tell you all that I am very excited for today's game, but I'm also equally emotionally unprepared for today, if I can say that, because history is going to remember this day. If New Zealand wins, it would be their first World Cup win. If India wins, there's lots to play for because they will be defending their title, they'll be winning on home soil, and they will be winning 3 T20 World Cups. So much to play for. The pressure is immense. It's not just knocking on the door, it's kicking the door wide open. And when we talk about pressure, I've got two men who know a little or two about pressure. Their blood pressure, their heart rate is in check. Clearly, mine's not. Please welcome Michael Vaughan and Ajinkya Rahane to the store. Not to the store, to the show. Ajinkya, I want you to start our show today. I know you've spent a lot of time with this gentleman. I know you mimic him very well. So give us a Ravi Shastri on how you feel today.
Well, Saiyami, it's going to be a great game tonight. New Zealand has been playing well, so does India. And the game in Ahmedabad Stadium, Narendra Modi Stadium, the atmosphere is going to be electrifying. The only message for the boys is play bindast. As I said, it's going to be a great game. So I'm sure everyone's looking forward to the game.
Well done, Ajinkya. Thank you for that.
That was good.
Yeah, up the energy.
I like that.
Up the energy.
I like that.
You've heard him a lot. You've heard him in your dugouts. You've heard him coach a lot. So that's the energy. We've seen Gambhir very different on, we're seeing all those dugout videos coming out, the huddle videos coming out as well. But Michael, who's going in favourites today?
Well,
I saw your tweet. I saw your tweet saying that the ones chasing will be favourites and you cheated on Deen Dayal.
I didn't cheat on Deen Dayal. It was his apprentice.
Oh.
Deen Dayal is up in his village. He comes back after the 15th. That was very good Ravi impression, Jinx. How are you, by the way? Are you nervous? I'm not bothered about you. You're cool because you're a calm customer, but I can see you're nervous about tonight. Well, you're already thinking about November the 19th, 2023.
Michael, it's not even 20 seconds into the show. You can't bring in November the 19th.
She's a true cricket fan. She's a true cricket fan.
I'm just trying to remind you that Ahmedabad is not a great venue for India.
But you know why I'm wearing the yellow today?
Because you're trying to be Australia from 2 years ago.
People who wear yellow on that ground, clearly it works.
I saw Manish actually today on his socials. He's got, is that right?
Yeah.
So, but I've just seen Ricky Martin produce a bit of magic on the stage, and everyone's got blue.
No, all Indian fans bleed blue, but it's the yellow which Ahmedabad's used to. But I'm going to take you away from the sledging.
Are you nervous?
Well, I'd be lying if I'd say I'm not. I'm already fumbling and stammering because it's a really big game. There's so much emotion behind it. There's Michael Vaughan who's going to be sledging me all through because, well, England's not playing. So.
Well, our team are back home having a Sunday roast. They'll be watching it on the television, enjoying it. They got close. Didn't quite get the spoils at the UNCHANGED, but they gave India a fright. And New Zealand, I think, can give India a fright tonight if they play nicely.
But your prediction is whoever chases is going to win.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think if you look at IPL history, you look at this tournament so far, I think the data says it's 50-50 in terms of batting first and chasing. That's across all T20 cricket. But, I believe it's a mixed soil pitch. Yeah. I mean, it's all confused me. It's black soil, red soil, now it's red and black. I mean, make your minds up. I just think the pitch will stay pretty true and these teams are so adept to chasing. You saw England nearly chased down over 250 odd the other night. And I think both teams would like to chase tonight.
But Michael, speaking about all the confusion, mix of a black and red, and what exactly is this, Ajinkya? Because I'm reading 65% red and the remaining is black and it's a mix. The bounce will basically is going to be a nice flat track.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be a nice and very good wicket. The more you think about the mixed soil, you get confused. As cricketers, as players, we don't think too much about. Now, if it's a red soil, black soil, yes, there's a lot of difference. But I think when it's a mixed soil, you don't want to confuse your mind. No, my reading is it will be a very good wicket to bat on. But the records at the Ahmedabad, basically whoever batted first and defended the total really well. So, we have seen Indian team doing both the things really well, batting first and defending the total, and also chasing down the target. So, as I said, it's going to be a great game tonight. New Zealand have done really well to reach here. A very good team. No one likes to take them really lightly. An Indian team, they would like to actually play their natural game. attacking form brand of cricket and look to win the game and in the final.
I think India can win both ways.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they can do what they did against England. If they bat first, get a big number and defend, and obviously they can chase. I only see New Zealand winning by chasing. I think New Zealand will have to win the toss and chase like they did in the semi-final against South Africa. They packed the batting and they've got a lot of power in that batting lineup. And I think they, like many teams, that they like to see a number.
Yes.
They like to see a number and they can assess how to play a target in that number. So, yeah, I think if the Kiwis are chasing, it'll be game on.
Well, Michael's saying if the Kiwis chase his game on, and that toss becomes very important. I mean, of course, India will want to win the toss as well. But this is what happens with the toss calls in Ahmedabad. This is since 2021. Teams opting to bat first has won 3 out of 3 matches. Teams opting to field first have won 4 out of 8 matches. The average first innings score in 11 matches is 190. The lowest first innings winning total in these 11 games, 185 for 8. 170 plus targets have been successfully chased 1 out of 8 matches. Of the 4 night games in Ahmedabad in this World Cup, the team that's defended has won thrice. Does this confuse you, Michael, or does this give clarity? Because it almost feels like a 50-50 there, doesn't it?
Yeah, you got to rule in many things with that. Bilateral series, I take no care of.
Yes.
Because, it's just, they don't matter. In my eyes, the World Cup, the 3 defending games in this World Cup is quite interesting. But you go back to some of the games at the start of the tournament, the edge wasn't quite there, and the competitive kind of spike wasn't within the teams. In a World Cup, a must-win game, I just think the chasing side will be better off because of the pitch. Because we know, I honestly have never heard of a 65. Is it 65 red? I've never heard of a mixed kind of soil pitch. It's a bit like concrete building a house, and you're not quite sure how much sand to put in. But that's confused me slightly. But I'm pretty sure that both teams will want to chase it. It generally does. You look at the IPL record there. When it's really hot, the kind of game, and it really matters. I think teams like to chase.
Ajinkya, India have managed to adapt very well, whether they are batting. Like Michael said, if India bats or bowls first, they've been adapting very well. I want to talk about adapting and what India has done since 2024. Because, Michael, we were together in the studio upstairs on that beautiful day on the 29th of June 2024 when India won the World Cup.
Yeah.
You were upstairs.
Yes.
And I remember us sitting and I kept getting information saying, Rohit Sharma has called it, Virat has called it, and Ravindra Jadeja has called it as well. When we were sitting in the studio, it felt like 1 gone, 2 gone, the third legend gone of T20 cricket. But since then, the transition has been so beautiful because it almost feels like a team has to rebuild after 3 big names go out. But this has been the transition, be it at home, be it away, be it a bilateral, be it a multi-team, it's all been wins for India.
Yeah, you see that record, and from 2024, doesn't feel like it's a transition. It looks like player they've been in that position, in that situation before. Rohit retired, as you mentioned, Virat retired, and Ravindra Jadeja. But I think the beauty of this format, guys have been playing T20, IPL cricket, and also the domestic cricket a lot. So I think players who've been doing well since 2024, they are the continuous part of the team, and I think it's the opportunity. Even Rohit and Virat, when they were playing the bilateral series, were so important for the players. Guys who are playing right now, Sanju Samson, you take Tilak Verma, Shivam Dubey, Shreyas Iyer was in the team, in and out that point in time. But I think the opportunity when they got, Rohit and Virat, they used to take rest in between the series. So I think that's what really helped, and it's been really smooth. You see transition in Test cricket, it was difficult, it was different. But I think in T20 format, it's been so smooth. Credit to PCCI, credit to Indian team management as well, how they handled each and every individual, especially in white ball cricket. So I think you see those stats, that tells you the story that every single player, they are really confident in playing this format.
Well, Michael, New Zealand are no pushovers at all when we speak about transitions, when we speak about, even for Santner, it's all very new for him. He's taken over captaincy after 2024 as well. And it almost feels like India and New Zealand have this love story going on. A little bit of very polite rivalry because the 21 WTC, the 25 Champions Trophy, and now the World Cup in 2026. 3 different formats, all finals, all very big pressure games, and just the consistency in which New Zealand plays with. What do you think Suryakumar Yadav and company are going to be afraid of today?
Oh, that consistency. I think that, you look at some teams, they arrive on the big stage and they get to the certain semi-final or a final, they don't quite arrive, and you think, well, they maybe have frozen on the big occasion. I don't think New Zealand will freeze. I think, well, they might get beaten by a better team tonight. They might get the wrong end of the toss, but they'll put in a decent display. They generally always do. It's very rarely that you kind of watch New Zealand go, oh, they're under par. They generally get to par.
Yes.
And then every now and again they get 20% over par, which makes them very difficult to beat. But they've got a humble set of players. And we don't talk about the skill sets of this New Zealand side often enough, that they've got all the skill sets. They've got wonderful seam bowlers. They've got great power with the batting. They've got good spinners, well led, well coached. It's been the same story for quite a long period of time now. So it doesn't surprise me. And you kind of look at New Zealand. I actually looked at the New Zealand under-19 team, and they weren't very good.
Yes.
You know, they were a poor team. So you kind of go, is there another batch coming through? I'm not too sure. But I can guarantee you one thing, India have got plenty coming through. And that's why that transition from the three players that you mentioned is going to be absolutely fine. If you took three players out of this Indian T20 side, say you took out Suryakumar, let's take out Sanju Samson, and let's take out Vaughan Chakravarti, I will guarantee that I'll put three in and the team will still play to a high level. You can't replace Bumrah because no one can do what Bumrah can do. But I think everyone else in the side, I think you have in this country a player that will be able to replace every other player. So that's why we were talking in the green. If you look at Australia when they won the World Cup in 99, 2003, 2007, that was over an 8-year period. You know, remarkable really to keep going for 8 years. This Indian side have been going together for 2 years. You know, 2 years they've had obviously a final of the World Cup, which didn't go so well.
Thanks again, Michael.
19th of November 2023. And then obviously they won the T20 World Cup in the Caribbean, and they won a Champions Trophy last year, and now they're in another final. I honestly feel that if they win again tonight, the rest of the world have kind of got to up their game, because this Indian juggernaut's not going to go away. And then South Africa in 27 for the 50 over World Cup. All right, slightly different conditions, and that's the true value of a team. Can you do it in different conditions? They've won got to a final here in India. They won in the Caribbean, which was quite spin-friendly wickets. Subcontinent last year, Champions Trophy, subcontinent again now. So that's conditions that you would expect India to always play well in. But I think this team have got enough to go to South Africa in 27 and win as well. So it's down to the rest of the world to go, right, what are India doing? We're going to have to raise our game a little bit.
The challenge for Indian team tonight, I think, the team they're playing against, they always play together. They play as a unit. The challenge for the Indian team is to stay together and play together. But there are so many stars in the Indian lineup. New Zealand generally focus on the team effort every single time. So I think that's the challenge. The challenge is going to be there. We saw that in the ICC events. New Zealand have always done well against India. You take that from 2007, 2016 as well. New Zealand have done really well. So staying together and playing as a team, for the Indian team, that's going to be a challenge.
Well, it's a very interesting point you bring up, Ajinkya, because playing like a team, we've always seen with India, that's what happens. You're celebrated. The stars are celebrated so much. You spoke about the humility in which New Zealand plays their cricket. It almost feels like New Zealand have a structure, like Michael's saying, if a few people are replacing the Indian team, there is a team A, B, C playing for India and playing very, very well. But this togetherness that you're talking about, New Zealand, just if you can chat a little more about that with us.
See, the New Zealand, the talent is very limited. As Michael said, in India, in white ball cricket especially, there is so much of talent. Anyone can replace any single player in the team, except Bumrah. Bumrah is an exceptional talent. I don't think anyone can replace Bumrah. But other players, the players are actually waiting to get into the Indian team. With the New Zealand setup, there are very limited players.
Yes.
With that, what happens is, the team with very limited resources, you always look to play, as a team.
Yes.
There are no superstars culture. In India, there is superstar culture. You always focus on one or two players. You take down from the past as well. They only focus on one or two players. Other players will always contribute. But I feel New Zealand culture is such that you always focus on the team. It's a team goal. So when there are limited resources, you always play as a team.
Well, Ajinkya, that smile on my face was because I saw a very smirky smile on Michael's face, because New Zealand has won the toss.
I got something in my ear. I don't know what it was. It was some message that came through my ear.
A message came in. That's why that smile came on Michael's face. New Zealand have won the toss. And they have decided to field first. So exactly what you said, Michael, a very important toss to win for New Zealand.
Yeah, if they play well, it will be. If they play badly, it won't be. If they allow India to come out of the traps like England allowed India. I thought England in the first few overs looked a little bit dazed by it. You know, the fielding wasn't quite there, and India suddenly started to play. Nishan Kishan at 3 came out and continued where Sanju Samson had started. If New Zealand start like that, you know, it could be game over quite early because India will get a big score. But I don't think New Zealand will be like that. You know, I think they'll be very calm and composed, even though there's 110,000, is that right, in Ahmedabad?
Yeah.
Yes.
110,000, and New Zealand might have 20 fans in the stands, and that's a lot. You know, so I think they'll be very humble. I think they'll be very kind of determined to. I think Mitchell Santner said yesterday, similar to Pat Cummins, they want to try and quieten the crowd. The only way they can is by getting a few early wickets. If they allow Abhishek and they allow Sanju to come out and play and get a few early boundaries, could be a long evening.
Well, you're talking about the crowd in Ahmedabad. It almost feels like the crowd in that stadium is probably equal to the crowd in a little city in New Zealand, if I can say, because that's the difference in population with our country and New Zealand. But when we speak about Ahmedabad again, I'm asking for it because Michael's going to go at me once again. But the record here, Ajinkya, we know that India has played 32 times here, and they've played 32 matches in ICC white ball tournament since 2023. They've won 30, but the 2 times that they have lost has been here in Ahmedabad. Michael's laughing away. He's just laughing away, and New Zealand
It's your
played 2 as
face
well.
that's making me laugh. I can see the drainage going. I'm
Right,
reading
like my
those
blood's going
stats.
away somewhere else. It's draining away. But Michael, before you laugh, that second line there, New Zealand has played 2 and they've lost 2 in Ahmedabad.
Yeah,
So it's 50-50.
I know we have to talk about what's gone in the past, but it's irrelevant. It really is irrelevant what's happened 2 hours ago. It's all about what happens from 7 o'clock, how they start. This crib, I think the one thing that you don't talk about enough in Indian cricket is the fact that India generally cope with the pressure better than most. You're under more pressure than any other country in the world. With all the support, the likes of yourself that get stressed, the players know that there's an expectation level. Now they've become so good at dealing with that, probably because of the IPL and the pressures that they're under within, you know, that 8 to 9 week period of playing IPL cricket in front of massive crowds with media expectations. So I'm having a bit of fun, and I think this Indian side will cope tonight. You know, I think they've got enough in terms of the skill. They generally arrive when the pressure. Remember, they lost to South Africa.
Yes.
They needed South Africa to beat the West Indies, and then they had to win every game. And so far, with their performances against Zimbabwe, the West Indies, and England, particularly with the batting hand, they've been absolutely fantastic. So I don't think that batting will suddenly dip tonight.
Well, New Zealand will be bowling first, Ajinkya, and there's been so much chatter. You know how it is to play for India. You know the chatter that happens amongst fans on social media, everywhere, the chatter about India playing in Ahmedabad, the amount of memes and reels that have gone around. Do you think players, like Michael saying, it doesn't matter? What happened 2 hours ago also doesn't matter because it's going to be about being present in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Those stats actually doesn't matter. Players will always look to go out there and give their best. Tonight is the best opportunity for the Indian team to going out there, playing with freedom. No result comes later, but playing with freedom, and beautiful opportunity to win the World Cup in a row.
Yes.
Again, and also the third time. First time the home country, if India wins, the first time home country will win the World Cup, their home ground. So I think players, I don't think they will be focusing on what happened in the past 50 over World Cup, playing the game against South Africa as well. As I said, this is the opportunity, and every single player actually looked about this opportunity. Representing India, playing in the World Cup and playing the final.
Yes.
And the iconic stadium, 100,000, more than 100,000 people cheering for the Indian team. So I think it doesn't get better than this. So I don't think players should be focusing on what has happened. I think it's about the moment, going out there and playing with freedom.
I think any format that you play, you've got to break it all down into small little segments. And India should be saying, let's just try and win the first 2 overs. Let's go out there and try and win the first 2 overs, and then we assess. And then if we can win the next 4, that's the power play in our bag. You know, once you've won the power play, you then go, okay, from 7 to 10, let's just win that little period. And the more that you can just tick away these little small fragments of the game, you forget about what's happened in the past.
Yes.
You forget what's going to happen in and now. It's about just staying in the present moment. And if you can do that with the skill that both teams have, and that New Zealand be saying the same, can we win those first 2 overs? What does that look like? Get an early wicket. So we've got to be ultra aggressive in those first 2 overs. The same with the bat, you know, for India, Abhishek and Sanju, to win those first 2 overs, what can they do? Go and whack a few boundaries. So I think you break any big game down into small little fragments of the whole game, and by the end of it, you put it all together, and you end up with that trophy in your hand. If you look towards that trophy before you've actually won a power play or won the first 2 overs, that's when you come unstuck.
Yes. Well, you're talking about not looking into past, not looking into future, just superstitions for fans, because we look into past and future, is that India is batting first, but we know that India has batted first in the past and won a World Cup in 2007. So Indian fans can relax. In 2007, in 2024, India has batted first and picked up that silver trophy. Let's have a look at India.
They batted first on the 19th of November 2023 as well.
Michael, do you remember your birth date? Because
you didn't mention that.
Because you were referring to
I just keep thinking
there are 2 of us now.
You keep erasing it, but you've got to keep mentioning it. The audience want all the information from what's happened in the past.
Well, the audience knows what they want to listen to. The audience knows that what happened in 2007 and 24 is what they want to keep in mind, which is why we'll have a look at that playing 11 there. India, of course, are going ahead unchanged today. There was lots of discussion over Abhishek Sharma and Varun Chakravarti. Again, fans go brutal on social media, but just Ajinkya and Michael, so much discussion about should Varun and Abhishek be dropped today, and should Rinku come in, and should a Kuldeep come in, but India has gone unchanged.
Yeah, I mean, I expected the same thing. Indian team going with the same playing 11. See, the 2 guys you mentioned, Varun and Abhishek Sharma, very quality players, match winners on their own. Abhishek, we have seen he's done really well in last 1 year. Varun has won the matches for the Indian team in this format. So I think both are quality players. You don't want to make unnecessary changes, going, especially when you're playing the finals. I'm sure those players must be thinking about their performances, but tonight's is always about the team.
Yes.
It's always about the contribution. How can they contribute? Abhishek Sharma, how can he bat really well in the power play? Varun Chakravarti, when he gets the ball in hand, picking up a wicket in power play or middle over. So I think all our things are really important. We're talking about Varun and Abhishek, but I think the Suryakumar Yadav, he made his debut in Ahmedabad against England, hitting that 6-over fine leg for Jofra Archer first ball, and also he played that 23 final and got dropped. So he would like to get that stats, really well. Now he's playing as a captain, leading the team really well. So I think Suryakumar Yadav would like to do really well and winning the championship for the Indian team. So but again, Abhishek Sharma and Varun, as I said, they both are quality players. So I expected the same playing 11.
Michael, that was his subtle sledge to you. The 6 that everyone remembers that Suryakumar Yadav hit of Archer was a subtle sledge. We'll get to it, but we'll have to get to New Zealand's playing 11 first, because they have decided to bring that one change because Duffy comes in and Cole McConkey is out. Are you a little surprised there, Michael, with the off spinner going out to Abhishek? There was again that whole
No, I'm not, because I looked at South Africa, what they did to India at this venue, and that was generally all seam. Nagidi had a great night bowling those slow balls, so it doesn't surprise me that they've gone one less in terms of an all-rounder. Cole McConkey has been excellent. You got 2 for in 1 over in the semi-final. This is what New Zealand do. They just kind of look at the situation, they take emotion out of it. The emotion would have said, he's got to play because he's done well for them in the last 3 games, and you're thinking, how'd you drop someone? But it's a final, and New Zealand would have gathered all the information from the pitch. Very rarely do I watch New Zealand and think they get the wrong formation. You were talking about the World Test Championship final where New Zealand, they got lucky because they played more cricket than India in 2021, wasn't it, in Southampton? But
21,
and it rained, and New Zealand went with all the seamers and India went with 2 spinners. I look at New Zealand cricket and I think, we talk about the players, but I think they're very well coached. They're very well coached and have been for a long period of time. And going back to a long time ago when I played, I always felt they got the right team. Whether they played well was a different matter, but they always seem to get the right formation. So they're quite a group of clever cricket thinkers, and that's, for me, the right decision to bring in Duffy on this kind of surface against India.
So we don't know if it's an indication of the
what
pitch.
he mentioned about good team, also their backroom staff is really good. The New Zealand always plans really well. But Duffy he has done really well against India in the series. Whenever I've seen New Zealand coming up with India or any other team. I think their planning is so good.
Yeah.
Players as players, they're limited skills, but I think the planning what they do with Test cricket, ODI or T20 format has been amazing. That's why I said their backroom staff is really amazing. If they win tonight or not, but they have always studied. They know the conditions. They know Indian team really well. They know each and every opposition well. So I think the Duffy is the right inclusion in the side because he has done really well against India in the bilateral series.
Well, New Zealand will be bowling first, but whether India is bowling first, whether India is batting first, there is this one name who has been doing his work very silently and doing it very well. He did miracles in 2024 because he was very crucial to India in that 2024 win. It's another World Cup. It's in Ahmedabad this time. I want to talk about Hardik Pandya. He is our player to watch out for, powered by Polycab, Green Wire Plus, India's #1 wires and cables. Hardik Pandya, Michael, the other day there was so much discussion about Bumrah, and understandably so because he is a national treasure, but he had the second lowest economy as well. He was 30, he gave away just 38 runs in that big 499 runs which was scored by both teams. But just a little more on Hardik Pandya because, you know, the 2024 World Cup, when we were watching that game, Ajinkya, it was so important to him because he had gone through so much as a player with the whole booing that went on, and he never came out and spoke about it. And in 24, after India won, his emotions showed us what it meant to him. And he was just so emotional after that win. And even in this World Cup, he's come in, and whether those impact parts with the bat or with the ball, when he comes in with the new ball, gets those wickets, and his economy has been great. Michael, he's been in this very elite list of top 5 players where he's got 500 plus runs and 20 plus wickets in T20 World Cups. How impressive has he been with the ball?
Oh, I think he's tremendous. I have him as the best all-rounder in the world in T20 cricket. He's just got the swagger. You know, I think to be an all-rounder, number one, he's had injuries, obviously, to stop him playing Test match cricket and a bit of 50-over cricket. But I think T20 cricket suits him. You know, he only has to bowl 4 overs. If he's going to bowl 4, coming in at 5, 6 or 7, he just doesn't really have to think. He's just going to try and strike it. Brilliant in the field. He's run out of Jacob Bethel a few nights ago. He's just a typical all-rounder. I mean, we've been very fortunate in the UK to have Ian Botham, Freddie Flintoff, Ben Stokes, and you watch all-round, and Hardik Pandya's in that category. They always want to be in the game, even though they are in the game. You know, because they bowl, they bat, and they feel they want to be in the game. So when the pressure's on, they've got this amazing mentality, and Hardik's got it, that it's like, give me the ball.
Yes.
You know, or I'll go out and bat and whack a few sixes for the team. Or tell you what, I hope that catch comes to me. I'll take it. Or I need to run out someone. I hope that ball comes to me and I'll do it. You know, I just think that it's an amazing mentality. I've never met him, but I've seen him on the ground. I just like his swagger. I like cricketers and any sports stars that just seem to walk out onto the arena and they kind of look around. They'll be looking around at 110,000 and going, yeah, this is my stage.
Yes.
You know, he's not scared. Ricky Martin might have just sung a few songs, but Hardik will be thinking, this is my stage tonight. This is what I've been born for. This is what I've woken up for this morning, for this kind of moment. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if someone like Hardik got man of the match tonight. He's got that kind of character.
You're talking about his swagger. He said this. He said that, you know, I feel like a rock star when people come and watch me. He likes that. He's got that swagger about him. We know that Polycab's all about purity and sustainability. But Ajinkya, when we talk about his stroke play, it is so pure. When he had that, the swagger, the aura around him, that no-look, six that he is, the uppercut that he's hit, it just feels like he is there and he owns the stage. How impressive has he been with the bat for you?
Really impressive. I mean, first of all, as Michael said, the best all-rounder for me in this format. Reliable with the bat, trusted with the ball, and also in the field as well. It's very difficult to play the kind of role Hardik is playing. We have seen him bat at certain position, coming out there and going for the big hit from ball number 1. We've seen also, we read about what people are talking about Hardik Pandya. Michael said about his swagger. In our country, people generally say, what is he doing? Kya style maar raha hai? No, all kind of stuff. But that's his confidence. Yes. That's the belief. Hardik always believes in himself. And tonight, I'm sure he's eager to go out there and winning the match and winning the final for the team. behind all this, I think that's his preparation. No, the amount of preparation he has done, the hard work he has done on his bowling, on his batting, that is now paying for. And that's why we are talking highly about Hardik Pandya. He can win the match with the bat and with the ball as well. The run out we've been talking about Bethel in the last game was crucial. In the field, he's been electrifying. So I think Hardik for me is the best all-rounder. But I think why is he doing all this? Because of his preparation, because of his work ethics and the attitude which he has.
Well, we spoke about his work ethics, his attitude. Hardik's almost that safety net that we look for, because it's almost feel like you throw the ball to him, there's a safety net. As Indian fans, everyone is waiting for Hardik Pandya to do this with the trophy, because he knows that that's his unique pose with the trophy, which is why Hardik Pandya is our player to watch out for. Powered by Polycab Green Wire Plus, India's #1 wires and cables. Hardik, of course, will be coming out with the ball first, because, India's batting first, so he'll have to come out with the bat first if required. But when we talk about him coming out with the bat, we've spoken about it a little bit. Matt Henry the other day, he seems like he knows all his duties, because he's managing to do the dad duties. He's managing to handle jet lag. He's managing to handle the correct length and bowling exactly where he should bowl. So India is going to be you've played him very closely. So India is going to be wary of Matt Henry today.
Yeah, there's always been a discussion about Matt Henry, whichever team you're playing for or playing against. I mentioned this before as well, that I was playing in county cricket, and even there, the discussion about Matt Henry. We played Test cricket together. In the Indian dressing room, we always discuss about Matt Henry. Yes, a very good bowler with the red ball, but again, in white ball, he keeps it really simple. In this format, he likes to hit those test match length, which I feel is again a very difficult length to hit. I think his stats are really good. So a wicket taker in the power play. Always looks to pick up wickets, hit the right areas. We can see that record. Economy around 6.60, dot ball percentage 62.2, which tells you a big story. He keeps things really simple. The areas and the line and lengths which he hits, it's really difficult for the batsman.
What he'll do, I've seen loads of him because he plays down at Somerset.
Yes.
My lad plays down, and I don't think they've ever lost a game when he's played. He's that good. But to someone like Sanju Samson, I look at the way that England bowled to him the other night. They bowled too short, and he hangs right back onto his stumps. England got a couple up, and guess what? Sanju hit one to mid-on, and it was dropped. Matt Henry will force it fuller to someone like Sanju Samson, and definitely not give him anything short. He's that kind of bowler. He'll have studied exactly the movement of both these players. I guess if Sanju's ahead, he dances down and tries to meet that length and whacks him over the top. So that's kind of a really good matchup inside probably the first couple of overs. But you always know with Matt Henry, if there's movement to be had out of a surface or a ball, he will find it. If there's anything there. And
he always gets the one to go a little out as well.
Out, in, low, bounce. I've no idea what this multicoloured pitch is going to do, but if there's a pitch that's going to do something, and it's tonight with this black and red 65%, whatever it is, he'll find the movement if it's there.
Well, if he does find the movement, we know that he's up against a really powerful batting lineup, because we know how destructive India can be with the bat. And Michael, I just want to remind you that last game there was a difference of one boundary, because England hit 37, England hit 36 boundaries, India hit 37.
Yes.
But India's just been this boundary and six hitting machine this World Cup. They've hit 88 sixes this World Cup.
But but the one venue where they didn't do that was Ahmedabad against South Africa.
Well, in spite of that, in spite of not hitting it, India is topping that list. We have seen Sanju Samson with 16 sixes. Ajinkya, he's also transformed his game, but it's just been a boundary hitting machine. And just to give a response to Michael, they will do what they didn't do against South Africa. They will do it today.
They will do it today. I think that tells you a story about the Indian batting, how they are looking to play. We have seen that since New Zealand series, and also past series, whatever games they have played, they've always been attacking. They are always looking to score in boundaries and sixes. And that's the beauty, that's the mantra of Indian batting lineup nowadays. the first couple of balls, if you have noticed, always looking to hit boundaries or back-to-back boundaries. Especially Ishan Kishan. I've noticed about Ishan Kishan. When he hits that first boundary, he's always looking to see that back-to-back boundary. So, no, that's the character, that's the attitude which Indian team has been playing with, and the format demands this. No, yes, you rotate the strike, but I think how you can put pressure by hitting boundaries and sixes.
Well, they know how to put the pressure with those boundaries and sixes. Just the brand of cricket that India is playing. Michael, I mean, I know it's a raw nerve, but the brand of cricket that England's played under Baz, the results haven't really gone their way with Test cricket, but the brand of cricket India has played and this aggressive cricket India has played in, especially T20s, we saw that Green winning every single place. What do you make of the brand of cricket India is playing? Because someone like an Abhishek Sharma, Surya also spoke about him, saying that we will continue backing him because we know we have depth in our batting and we know the quality of skill he possesses.
Yeah, I mean, they're the best team in the world. Even if they lose tonight, I still think India are the best team in the world. You can have an off night. You look at all those wins, and they haven't lost too many games. But if you lose a series 4-1, you've lost one game, and that might be tonight. You just never know. It's just T20 cricket, but. You've got insurance down at 7 and 8 in Dubai and Axar Patel, and teams love that because then at the top you can just go. And Ishan Kishan comes out. I thought his innings against England was a gem because he came out and banged it straight away, and that's what India will do tonight. By playing that way, it runs the risk that you might lose 2 or 3 wickets, a flying catch and a run out or 2. You never know what's going to happen, but it's exactly the right way to play. And I look at South Africa in the semi-final, and I know they're struggling to get out of India to get home, which is not right. But I'm sure they're sat in their hotel room going, we didn't quite play true to what we've been playing to in a semi-final. I think India will go for it. I don't think they'll play safe. They'll go for it. That's what I listened to Gautam's speech in the huddle. I thought it was a great speech. Just get out there and play and take the risky option if you have to. Be brave. If the ball's there to hit, commit, whack it. That's T20 cricket. So I don't think anything other than an India fearless performance. It's just whether New Zealand play better on the night. I think both teams will go for it.
Well, you spoke about that insurance of Shivam Dube and Akshar, but Ajinkya, we've seen what Shivam Dube has been doing. The other day, they got him up to 4 because they had the spinners coming on. They said, you go. He's been given the license to hit, and we know he can hit it big when he hits it. So Shivam Dube has been very impressive because he's moved around and shuffled around a lot in that batting order.
Yes, he's been really impressive. A couple of innings in this World Cup has been amazing. Last inning especially, batted at number 4 when Surya promoted him. From ball number 1, his intentions were really clear. I saw Shivam Dube batting at 4, 5 and 6. He's always been a team man. Playing for India, playing for the IPL franchisee or domestic cricket, he has always been a team man. The beauty of Shivam Dube is the attitude of whatever team management or team tells him to do it, he'll go and just do it. He will not put his mind, whatever captain or the team management tells him, he'll just keep it simple and go and fulfill that role. I think that's the beauty of Shivam Dube, and that's what we have seen so far from Shivam Dube.
Well, you're talking about the captains. I want to just show you all what's been happening with the 2 captains, because there's been a lot of banter that we have seen in the pressers. We've also seen Santner go out and take a picture, and everyone's saying that, Cummins did the same thing. This is what Santner had to say. If we can put us in a pretty good position to hopefully lift the trophy, I wouldn't mind breaking a few hearts to lift the trophy for once. And Suryakumar Yadav said, "Arey sab same hi line chipka rahe hain, kuch naya to bol do." Michael, basically he says that, well, everyone's repeating the same phrase like Cummins. Can someone come up with something new? So the banter has been really entertaining, because we've also seen images put across where we've seen Santner take a photograph of the pitch. That's exactly what Cummins had done as well. So I love this banter that we see on social media.
Yeah, and New Zealand will be hoping it's an omen and it works again. But I love the build up to any big sporting event, boxing, football, cricket, because the captains have to go and answer so many questions, and there's always a snippet, to grab the headlines. It's absolutely fine, but 2 very good captains. Santner's been, typically New Zealand, very calm, very kind of smooth in his operation of the way that he never seems to lose his rag, doesn't seem to lose his temper. And Suryakumar's been exactly the same. He seems to keep a cool head at times. Even the other night when Jacob Bethel was hitting and Will Jacks was going, and there was a little bit of a panic on for India, he seemed to stay pretty cool. But, I'd stay pretty cool if I was captain in Jasprit Bumrah as well. If I had that insurance up my in my pocket with 3 to go, with 10 to go, I think I'd be quite happy with that.
Well, Murali Karthik keeps saying bowlers should be allowed to bowl more than 4 overs. If only Jasprit Bumrah could bowl like 16 of the 20 overs.
It'd be a boring game.
No, but we have to go and do the joy factor now,
Oh, yes.
because we have to start getting and wrapping things up with our show and go and take some deep breaths when we start watching that match as well, because I'm going to be sledged by Michael Vaughan all through the show and all through the match up until we see the result. So let's have a look at the joy factor of the day. What connects the following players with respect to men's ICC tournament finals? Zahir Khan, Mohammad Amir, Ryan Sidebottom and Mitchell Stark. List is not exclusive.
Well,
It's not exhaustive.
The left armers.
Do you all want to see that once again?
Yeah.
Can we have a look at that question once again?
Say Khan left arm, Mohammed Amir left arm, Stark Sidebottom left arm.
I mean, the wild guess I would have is, I have a guess, but it's very wild. First ball that goes for a wide 4 in the ICC final. That's my guess.
When did Mohammad Amir played?
He wouldn't have played 207, would he? No chance.
No.
Okay, let's just do a guessing game, because there's pressure on that guessing game as well. Murali Karthik sitting upstairs, lots to play for in that guessing game, because there are a few scenarios we have as well.
I think
with our guessing game.
DK's bottom, isn't he?
I think Ajinkya's at the bottom.
No.
No. I think DK.
DK is at the
I
bottom.
think he had a dodgy night the other night. I think he's.
But we have a lot to play for with that guessing game. So our scenarios for the guessing game, this is how serious it gets, is if Karthik gets one right, he's going to be the crown champion. Let's delete that statement. The second one, if Karthik gets both wrong and Saiyami gets both right, she'll become number 1. Lots to play for. A win is enough for Zach to finish at the top half. 2 wins can even help him clinch if Saiyami and Karthik both get their guesses wrong. If Saiyami gets both wrong and Michael gets both correct, Michael
this is
can
what
pick
we're after.
Saiyami to the number 2 spot.
That's what we go for
Well,
tonight.
then that's what you play for. A win is enough for GK to finish at the top half of the table. Ajinkya needs to at least win one to avoid the wooden spoon.
There's all to play for.
Lots to play for. So quickly then, guesses.
2-2-3. 2-10.
Wow, I was going to go much higher, so I'm going to go with my instant 2 dot balls to start the game. So
223.
223, 210.
Don't go near me because we've got a.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Today you're on a boxing match with me today.
Why
I
do you go
can feel it.
150?
Yes.
150.
I'm going to go 200.
India don't bat well here.
I'm going to
150.
go 231.
231. For a lot of runs.
All right then, it's time for us to go. But again, for all the fans out there, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Rohit Sharma took that trophy out to the center. The atmosphere is electrifying at that stadium because Manish and Tanya are there as well, giving us live updates of what's happening there. We are going to go and do some meditation inside, and Ajinkya is going to guide us through that meditation. Thank you, Ajinkya.
Order some food.
Yes, order some food. Thank you, Michael, for all the sledging. We will come back very soon. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll be back at the 10 over point with Cricbuzz Combox.